Hello everybody, and welcome to a sealed video here on the channel. To help prepare for the Arena Open this coming weekend, I'm going to be doing some sealed videos showing you how to build decks and play in this format that's similar to draft, but also very distinct in many ways. So before I dive in, I want to remind you that if you enjoy the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel and leave a comment with your questions and feedback. And if you really enjoyed the video and want to support my content, you can do so via the Patreon at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas, or by subscribing to my Twitch channel with Prime Gaming. If you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to my Twitch channel for free if you connect the accounts. But let's dive on into this. We're going to first look at the rares that we get, see where that might want us to go. If we open a really good rare, it could lead us in a direction that plays that rare, because that's generally what you want to be doing in Sealed, is just playing all of your best cards. So it does let us zoom in, thank goodness. Essica's Chariot is an absolute a really good card, so I find it unlikely to imagine that we would not at least splash this card. Hopefully we can play green as a base color, because green is a color that has like a lot of fixing, and this card is at its best when you play it on turn 4. Gravenlore can be okay as some card draw. Drawing 3 isn't like gonna win you the game, because there are a lot of 2-for-1s and things like that. But it's a nice addition to the deck. It's not going to be very easy to enable Icebreaker Kraken, because the odds of getting all of the snow lands in your colors is really difficult in Sealed, because you only open the like 6 packs, and so you get 1 snow basic or snow dual in each of those packs. So the odds of the snow lands being in the colors is difficult. Herald Unites the Elves, also hard to enable in Sealed, because you're not going to have as many elves and changelings as you can maybe get in draft. Dual land is good if we want to splash something, but not good otherwise. And then Egon, God of Death. We're probably going to play the Throne of Death part, that incremental value, but we don't want to mill ourselves out, and it is a slow card advantage engine. So green is the only color we're really committed to, and then we'll have to see what our colors look at. I think in Kaldheim in particular, one thing that's really valuable to do is look at look at the lands. Land. So let's just see what lands we're working with. Okay, I thought there was a way to look at there. Maybe it's T land. There we go. So we can see what color lands we have. We have blue, black, blue, black, blue, black land. So blue, black has a lot of lands that are working for it. And then there's a green land here. Cherry, and there's a Shimmerdrift Veil, green, white, blue, white. So we have actually some decent fixing. The fact that we only have 2 basics, and then we have 4 dual lands and a Shimmerdrift Veil is really nice for our potential fixing needs. So we just started with that. The next thing I like to do is just go through card by card and look at the things that are going to be good for my Sealed deck. So Janox, that are priorities that are going to actually be really enhancing my deck. Also, as I said in my last Sealed video, I do want to note that one of the things you're looking for in Sealed is cards that are good in the late game, because curves are going to be weaker, because you can't like prioritize drafting 2-drops and things like that. So you want to make sure that if you are playing a beatdown deck, you really have the density of 2-drops, and that's not going to come together all that often. So you often face a lot of control matchups in Sealed. So with a card like Story Seeker in draft, it's quite nice, but in Sealed it gets a big knock against it, because it is not really something that you're not going to be able to use it to attack them, and you're not going to have to block your opponent's 2-drops as much either. Valkyrie Sword is a card that could be really nice for a white deck. Master Scald often does good work, but overall the white cards aren't great, and we don't have any white rares, so other than the dual land, so I find it unlikely to think that I'll be playing white. I guess I could look at the gold cards to see if there's any white ones. So there's a Furia, so maybe we would splash Furia. We're not going to want the Ascent though, and we're not going to want this, so very unlikely that we play white. Ooh, there's a Narfi. It's looking like blue black snow could be something we do. Okay, so then in blue we would play the Snow-Covered Island. If we played blue, we would probably consider buying the monster, but it's not like a huge payoff. Avalanche Caller could be really good. Behold is really good. Gravenlore is probably good also as a card draw engine. So we have a few cards that would be pretty good in a blue deck. Also Augury Raven could be nice. And we have some Snowlands, so Icebreaker Kraken could do some work as well if we ended up playing like a lot of our Snowlands. But overall, not a ton of blue cards, just a decent number. And then Disdainful Stroke, certainly playable. We could even play like all of those. So like if we played blue, like we could maybe play something that looked a little bit like this. So we have like a decent number of playables actually in blue, and then a few like really good cards. you kind of just want to get a sense of the pool. It's tough to build decks on Arena. Okay, now in black, this card can be decent. Draugur's Helm can be nice. As a late game card, it gets a lot better in sealed, where you can move things around. Inga's very strong. Good to know, good to know. It feels hard to enable, but we'll have to check back in. And then we have Egon, mostly for the back half, the Throne of Death as a card advantage engine. Skemfar, so not a ton of great black cards, honestly. No like premium removal spells or anything like that. Moving on to red. Red tends to suffer along with white in sealed because they tend to be more aggressive, and so you can't often support the aggression levels. Like we only have 2 like decent aggressive 2-drops here, so like we just don't have the tools to be an aggressive red deck. But we have Fearless Liberator would be okay in that sort of deck. Firewalker, Squash is a card you can splash, but red's not looking overly powerful here for us. And so far blue's looking like the best. Elven Bow's nice because equipment, you have a lot of time to move them around. Sculptor's nice because it's a 2-drop that actually has like helps you get to the late game. It's not like a great top deck in the late game, but it still is one of those 2-drops that you're fine playing. What else do we have in green? We have Packmate, Essica's Chariot, Rootless U plus Lindworm is a nice combo. Grizzled Outrider's just beefy. And then Binding of the Old Gods. Oh, nice. I didn't realize we had that. That's really nice as well. So, I think blue-green is looking the most powerful, but then we would really want to splash black for Narfi's. Narfi probably. Some of the... We have like decent access to black thanks to the Woodland Chasm, the Ice Tunnel, and the Shimmerdrift Veil. And we would just splash these 2 black cards, I think. And we probably wouldn't splash the Furia. We probably aren't going to splash Throne of Death either. Yeah, we probably just splash those couple cards. So now let's see how our deck would look. So let's just filter by blue and green cards. Add in all of the potential playables. I'm probably not going to hope to play that in sealed. Okay, so this is our main cards. Then if we add in black here, we can add a Snow Swamp maybe. I don't think we want this because it takes double black to get the card. I don't love the pick because if I don't have like good attackers early, and I don't really have that. I don't think I want to play that. I don't think I want to play Furia, but we could consider that eventually. We could use this to help us splash. Though, we would need 2 more blacks, so maybe that's tough. Narfi, Woodland Chasm, Binding. We don't really have elves. We have a couple elves here. We have Elderleaf Mentor. Oh, right. That's cool that the Rootless U can get the Icebreaker Kraken. And then we could play like half on color lands, like Arctic Treeline and Sulphurous Mire if we really wanted to. Blue-black Spelllander's Worth. It's going to be so hard to get double black, Charlie. I have like 3 black sources that I'm playing maybe. I guess I have this to go get a black source because I can get Woodland Chasm, which is really neat. But I would already have to have black in order to cast this, so it gets a little bit worse anyway. I'm not sure yet. I'm still building, folks. You like the Master Scald Splash to combo with Binding, potentially Essica's Chariot. Those 2 cards to potentially get them back. We do have this card to help splash it, and the Arctic Tree Line, so we have 2 sources for it. So if we wanted to, we could splash could splash this sort of card, but I don't love doing that. We could splash Master Scald. I don't think it needs Master Scald either. We could just play this as an off-color land to help our Icebreaker Kraken. We could play this one of our black sources. And to help our Sculptor of Winter, and coming in tap's not a huge deal. We have 3. Where's Shimmer Drift Veil here? That actually is a huge part of our deck and plan. Helps Avalanche Caller too. So we have 1, 2, 3. We could play this as another one of our black sources. Even if we're not splashing red for anything. Similar logic as before. Yeah, you don't want Jesper Sentinels in sealed. You'd just rather just wait. Like, I don't have that many creatures anyway to make Jesper Sentinel good. So now let's just look at the cards that we're playing here. We're playing most of the blue cards that we have right now. We're playing most of the green cards that we have. We could consider not Bold Recluse. We have a decent number of snowlands. How many elves do we have? Elf, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're not going to be playing Herald Unite the Elves. Do we want the Port of Carful? It's just a tap blue land that if we get to double black in the extreme late game, which could happen with, we have 1, 2, 3 black sources. Yeah, that's not happening. So yeah, let's just consider making cuts here from this build. Currently we're splashing 2 black cards, 1, 2, which makes it fine to play the 3 sources, which is one source, 2 source, 3 sources, and then Shimmer Drift Veil can also name black, so it's really 4 sources, because we'll often be naming black. I think Helm is certainly too greedy, because we're not going to be able to get double black very easily, and Egon is also pretty greedy, because it's just not a great card. The Egon. So how many snowlands do we have for this card total? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's okay for Icebreaker Kraken, and it works with the Rootless U. So I'm thinking Gravenlore is probably okay. These cards are all good. This card's a little bit weak. I could see just cutting a Disdainful Stroke. Pilfering Hawk could be a cut as well. There is sideboarding in this, so we'll get to see some more sideboarding stuff as well. Okay. This is kind of like a counterspell as well, but only protects my creatures. It tends to be pretty good. I've had it perform well. I wish we had a Raiders Carve. That card was really cool for me when I was playing it yesterday. I think we just cut a Disdainful Stroke. 3 copies is probably a bit too much. Especially when we have Snakeskin Veil as well. It does work well with Behold and Gravenlore, but we still have 2 copies. So now we just have to determine our colors. First of all, we're going to make, let's make the Kraken our art, but our colors are 11, 12, so green and blue are equally split pretty much, so let's just get the same number of sources. We have 5, 6, 7, 8 kind of, and then for green we have 5, 6, 7, 8 kind of, so pretty nice distribution. I like the curve, I like the deck, and I think it's going to be a pretty fun one to play. I'll see you folks in the matches. Before I get to the matches, I want to give a huge shout out to all of the patrons who support me and my content at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. As a college student, I have a lot of work outside of the channel, and it is the support of patrons that helps me continue dedicating the time and energy necessary to produce high quality videos on a consistent basis. If my content has provided you with some value, please consider supporting my work on Patreon. It really makes a big difference. Special thanks to those who support me at the credits level, and to all of the new patrons who helped me reach the new microphone funding goal. I've gotten a lot of comments about sound quality over the years, so it's going to be awesome improving my videos with a new microphone when it arrives in a couple of days. Without further ado though, let's get to the matches. Hello and welcome to round 1. We will play first Great hand here. Get that swamp with Shimmer Fail. That's what you were going for. Oh my gosh. That's the greatest Twitch username ever. Someone called hello, hello, hello. Just followed. That's so funny. Yeah, no, it's a confusing thing. I don't really understand it myself. Get the beatdowns flowing. Hawk into Recluse. Recluse hits like a truck. Yeah, this is why I really like playing 2 colors with 1 splash in sealed if I can, to try and get all my good cards in. It's so much trickier otherwise. We could probably play 18 lands in this deck. It's probably correct to cut a Disdainful Stroke for an 18th land, because we do have a decent number of ways to spend our mana. Wow. Mist's doing really little. Wow, it's even going to still trade. That's wild. I'm going to loot away Narfi, maybe. Oh my gosh, what? That's just an easy 2 for 1. I'll take it. No! The Kraken. It's the Kraken! Okay, we can ditch Narfi because we can get it back later. And all our cards are pretty good. Okay. I'm just going to start attacking because my hand is good enough. I'm going to keep holding up Disdainful Stroke. Probably gonna have to kill this. They can exile my Narfi. Oh, I cannot beat a Turgid playing the other half of it, I don't think. Then I can start holding up Gravenlore and this. So they stop me from getting a land. Just gonna hold up this and this. They could have a counter spell here. Yeah, Elvison, the UI on that card is really bad. Okay. Sculptor can get back Narfi, that's true. Good point. I don't really need the Sculptor. I don't think it really mattered there. I like getting in the point of damage. And it gives me some flexibility. Sideboarding and sealed is really an interesting thing, and you get to play the next games better. So we know they have Invoke the Divine, King Narfi's Betrayal. They have a Doomscar that they milled. Good to know about that. We've only played one game so far, Leo Dragon. So it's a slow matchup. And they have Run Ashore, good to know. Well, we're bringing in our last Disdainful Stroke. Artifacts and enchantment spells. They have one enchantment spell, two enchantment spells, but we're still not going to bring in a null. We already have a lot of counters. Our main deck already plays all of our green cards and all of our blue cards, pretty much. I don't think we want to splash any of these black cards. Yeah, we're going to play the third one. I'm not playing that because of a lack of mill. I'm playing it because I don't have enough black sources. I could cut Snakeskin Veil. I could cut Inga. Inga's really good against the board wipe, though, so that would be really dumb, I think. We could cut Bind the monster. They haven't really displayed any like must-kill creatures. Yeah. Again, we have all our colors. This is great. We're going to wait to play the Avalanche Caller until we have Snakeskin Veil up. Though I guess they didn't really show us any early removal. This is also good. We're going to do this to protect from them having the Feed the Serpent. One of these could be Doomscar. Sure. Not great for us. Don't know what this is doing in their deck. We can take it slow. Hold up Disdainful Stroke, hold up Snakeskin Veil. Probably less overall Wing Spear. Okie doke. They still get value because of their Vega. Vega's just good against us. They don't have enough blue to do Saw It coming. Yeah, like imagine if we opened a bunch of snow plains, we just can't do anything with that. Jeez, Vega's good in their deck. We're gonna start the beatdowns. Feels bad that they just keep drawing an extra card off these things. Kind of a yikes. It's a little bit... If this is Doomscar, it's not great for me as much. But I think I want this Avalanche Caller to help me rebuild after they play Doomscar. Yep. We already have our best card to go get with the binding, but getting a free forest is nice too. Oh no, we have another one. Nice. And we have Snakeskin Veil to protect, and we're going to give our guys Death Touch. Do I really have to hit full control to be able to respond to that? Well, that cost me. Real costly overall there. I'm a little bit disappointed. I was gonna make these both death touchers, but you know. It worked out. Yeah, I was considering hitting the full control button. I could have just sent for 8. Would have been fine, I think. I think I would have been in much better shape if I hadn't attacked with the Avalanche Caller. But and then still had the thing to protect it, but that kind of went away when I didn't get to make them death touchers. I wanted to respond by making both my lands death touchers. Okie doke, they are dead on board, I believe. Oh no. I make 2 4/4s. 6 damage gets through no matter what. Avalanche Caller is a beating. They exiled 1 card from my graveyard. The UI on the card is terrible. On King Narfi's Betrayal. Having played it myself, it doesn't separate the graveyards, so it just makes it look like they're all one stack and that you can only exile 1 card. It's like I had it in a deck yesterday, and it was just absolutely abysmal to play with because it was like it doesn't separate which are in your graveyard. So like if my opponent has a certain card in their graveyard and I have a card in my graveyard, I can't figure out which one's which. So I had like other recursion stuff. But it didn't work out as much. A slightly vibrant color is our opponent. We have gotten lucky to have all our colors in our opening hands. This hand does not have green mana, but we have a lot of green mana in the deck, and we're on the draw. And mulliganing is not great in like sealed, especially because you just play such slow games. So Disdainful Stroke can hold of whatever they're up to for a while. And we have 8 green sources to draw because Shimmerdrift Veil is a green source. Of course, we're playing turn 2 Elvish Warmaster. I hate this card. The one time I had it in my deck, I never drew it in all my matches, and every time my opponents play it, they just follow it up with like the Bloodline Pretender and just dominate me. Ooh, green mana achieved. We'll hold up Disdainful Stroke this turn. Protect against an Elderleaf Mentor or something. Counter it, buddy. Make my day. I'll block. Come at me. So I think they have a Sod coming. We'll bait out their Sod coming with the Collar because we're not going to be able to use it for a while. Yep. And now we can hold up our Graven Lore or use our Binding and stuff more effectively. We can just draw 3 on end of turn. They might have another Saw It coming. I like both of those lands. Ooh, the Chariot. I should not have played the Pilfering Hawk. That was a mistake. I have a disdainful stroke, so I should have just held that up again. I gave him a freebie. Yeah, that was bad. I'll block Death Knell. I'll see what they're working with. They will get another couple guys because of the War Master. Oh no, they get a zombie. It's not an elf. Nice. Sure. No attacks. We're in great shape here. We can get our black-green dual land. We have to have the Not Bold Recluse to trade with Mistwalker. Got him. Haha, reach. Oh, where'd they get the second mana? What the heck? Where was the second mana? I thought they only had this land untapped. Oh no, because they tapped 4 for their other guy. Yeah, they had 2. That's a fine trade for me, though. Thanks so much, Edelmeister, for the subscription. Thanks for sharing that Twitch Prime. Ooh, they have 2 different elf rares. Nice. And I get to go fetch up my Icebreaker Kraken. This thing has to die for it to draw 3 cards. It has to be one of the dyers. Okay, so they've got some elves. They've got a lot of cheap cards, so I don't really want to bring in another Disdainful Stroke. Probably just going to stick with the 2 that I have. Do I want to splash way down? Because I really need to get that elf guy off the battlefield. Currently I only have one way to do that, so I think I have to bring in way down. They have an enchantment, they have flyer. So Crushing Canopy still does work. Broken Wings helps me against flyers, which my deck is bad against. That sounds cool, Magistorian. I think I'm just going to cut the... 3/3 does line up well against their creatures for the most part. Just going to shave one of my more situational cards. The Scry 3 is also nice for finding my colors and stuff. Dingo's okay. Probably not going to get me any card draw, but it's okay. We don't have blue mana. So I think we mulligan this. This is much better. Keep this, get rid of the Sulphurous Mire. Not that I would mind a Sulphurous Mire, it's just I already have cards to play. Play this first in case we draw Sculptor of Winter. I should have just played Ice Tunnel. I don't know what came over me there. I was just assuming that I would draw Sculptor of Winter or something. I mean, Fatal Push kills flyers, so I mean, the names don't always match the effect. No, Fatal Push kills everything, but it feels weird that a push would kill a flyer because it can just fly away. The card we've been waiting for. And this is where the fact that I played the Ice Tunnel, didn't play this on turn 2, costs me. Because now I can't play both. Still worth it to get the chariot down, I'd say. But I would be in much better shape if I could have killed the War Master this turn. They have a bunch of random elves in their deck. We probably have Jarl. I'm trying to make their Jarl worse by attacking with all three of these. It could be a counterspell, but it felt like a Jarl. Because otherwise I don't see why you attack with Augury Raven when I have a couple 2/2s that you can blink. Okay. There he goes. And now they can't cast Jarl. So if they block there, they'll take 4. I'll get another 2/2 to replace it. I'm okay with that. Now this guy's lethal, and I have the Tenolians to bring him back. Got the win. Would it be a minor misplay to foretell it? Probably, yeah. Because I would not necessarily play around it if they hadn't foretold it, though if I was like really thinking about it, I might. So it's like, if you're against a savvy opponent, foretelling it kind of gives them a heads up, because I only saw so many foretell cards from them game 1. I think oftentimes Jarl being foretold is not going to be something you do. But then again, if you're doing it in the early game, it's still all upside, because then they don't really know. It could be a counterspell, it could be anything. Play first. Even in sealed, I still want to play first. We mulligan this hand, we keep this hand, and we get rid of Inga. Okey-doke. What are we going to foretell on turn 2 is the question. I think the bird, because the bird can start attacking more, the packmate's going to be on the ground. More likely to get traded with or something. Then again, we could have gone packmate and then bow. Just gonna play the bigger card than the elven bow. That would have been an okay line as well, but I like getting a 3/3 attacker out as soon as possible. Invasion of the Giants is a heinous card. I think it's like a D level card. It's just not great. It's like super slow. I think the card is one that I almost never play, even in a Giants deck. Now that might have been a mistake. I could have played the Elvish Bow there and just guaranteed hitting everything. But I wanted to get the packmate out. That could have been very wrong. I thought of it right after I made the play. Yeah, but it's so slow, and it's like not a great effect anyway. Putting a card in your deck that's not horrible is like not really where you want to be. Sure, it's okay when you play another terrible card and they happen to line up, but even now my opponents might not even be able to play it if they don't hit a land on turn 5. Like, in this exact situation where they have both of these cards, it works out. But, like, what if you draw your Cinderheart Giant and then you don't draw your Invasion until, like, after you've played this or something? It just needs a lot of stars to align. Like, if they have a tap land here, it would be so perfect. I'm just waiting for them to play an Ice Tunnel or something. Also, it's very color intensive. You need to have exactly blue-red, which isn't a non-factor. Like, now they'll never play this card. We get to kill the Augury Raven. I'm fine making this trade because the Firewalker can get value. And putting him to 6 is nice. I have not been the most mana efficient, and the extra like floating mana that I've left has been a major component. Like, I want them to trade, I think. Man, they probably wish they had that last turn. The Death Touch part of this could be nice too. Ooh, Dwarven Hammer, nice. I'm just going to play the Grizzled Outrider here. I know that I have a good target to counter in a couple turns. Having a tap land is pretty bad for me here. Yeah, I'm not going to hold up Stroke. I'd rather present lethal. Okay. I do have double blue. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 Snowlands, so this card costs 8 mana, which I have, I think. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I do. The game's pretty much over. So they'd have to play Demon Bolt to live, and then I just play this and their lands don't untap. But Rootless has to die first anyway. Scrying the Rootless just was a reflection of the fact that the game is going to be over. They have to have, they would, I think the only cards they could have now are exactly Demon Bolt, Demon Bolt. Oh, it doesn't keep their lands tapped? What? Artifacts and creatures, wow. That's brutal. Thanks, Antonio, I had no idea. It reminds me of Elder Deep Fiend, which is why I thought that, I think. Okay, so looking at their deck, they have expensive card, mega expensive card. I'm gonna try this guy out. Could be okay. Doesn't do well against the hammer, but such is life. And then I'll just cut an Inga. Sealed is pretty different from draft, Elvison. The cards you care about are much different. Like, a lot of the 2-drops just go way down in value. A lot of the card draw spells, even if they're clunky, go way up in value. The cards that fix your mana are really important. One of the things, though, is that a tier list is a lot less helpful in Sealed because you don't have to draft the cards. You just kind of have to work with what you're given. So you're never going to have to like pick between 2 cards. You're not going to have to be like, well, I'm choosing card A over card B. So it's more just like building the decks is a little bit different. Aggro is a thing in Sealed Wing Spear. It's like, it just doesn't come together very often. So like, it comes together like 20% of the time maybe, because you just have to open a lot of 2-drops. It's a lot more controlling because a lot of players just play all of their good cards because they can like manage to fit all their good cards into like 2 colors with a splash. So the games are slower. You can't curve out as much because you don't get to like draft 2-drops highly. Yeah, those are the major factors in the consideration there. Opponent is sideboarding for a while. One thing you can do in Sealed is you can like completely swap colors sometimes if you don't think you can win like a late game or something. So maybe they're swapping to like, they have like a lot of good red cards or something, and so they're swapping in their white aggro tools. I didn't think my Sealed pool had that in it, but sometimes you can find multiple decks, and that's really a powerful thing. In best of 3 in particular, when your opponent doesn't necessarily know. In paper, sometimes you can see your opponent swapping out a ton of cards, but that's not as much of a thing in this. Ooh. I'm just going to get rid of a forest. This is basically a land. Counter spells also get a lot better in Sealed. That's what I'm thinking about right now. What cards get better in Sealed? Counter spells get a lot better. Artifacts and enchantments and removals get better because there's a lot of powerful like artifacts and enchantments that people play. So those get a slight bump. Like Invoke the Divine is totally a fine Sealed card because a lot of people play good artifacts. So you see they're playing red-green instead of they were playing red something else, like red-blue last time. I'm not going to block here because this is like a land for me, and I can use the Elvish Bow to just blank Immersturm Raider. Oh, that's a problem. It is just a really good card. On turn 3 in particular. Oh, they're squashing the 2-3. Okay. Gold vein pick, sure. Island. So next time I'm taking 6. I'm pretty dead if I don't draw a second forest here. Gold vein pick wrecks me here. Ugh. I needed a forest. If I had drawn a forest here where I could go this, hold up Snakeskin Veil to block and actually trade with this guy, and then I could Broken Wings this guy, I'd be in much better shape here. Oh, okay, please go for the squash. Please don't equip. I go to 1, they play that thing. Playing this essentially kills that 2-1 anyway, so I'm just gonna do that. Dang, not getting a... I did get rid of a green source from my opening hand, which was maybe incorrect. It's really cost me this game. Yeah, I'm dead. Mulliganing really cost me this game. If I had been able to have my second hand as my opening hand, I would have won. Okay, so they have major artifact spell, major enchantment spell. I'm going to experiment with a null here over bind the monster. Because it seems like it counters a lot of high power level cards from their deck, and it's worth a shot, I think. They have the Lit Yara, Bears of Lit Yara, they have Harn of Harnful, they have Invasion that I could counter if I really cared. See you later, Antonio. Oh man, if we had ditched, I think keeping our snowlands is generally pretty good because we have the Kraken, we have Avalanche Caller. So maybe I'm not sure if it was incorrect to ditch the forest. It's certainly a close call either way. We're headed to game 3. We're going to want to be on the play. I think methinks the play is the place to be. They've been taking a long time with their sideboarding. Makes it hard to know if they're just swapping decks or something. One thing I will say is it's kind of it's when you're playing in person, you can sometimes notice them swapping a bunch of cards. So one thing I always do is I always have like a couple lands in my sideboard, and so I swap the lands in for other lands at the bare minimum, so that they have no idea what I'm doing. So that's just a pro strat you can use if you're playing in a Grand Prix. I think it makes them wonder if you have any sideboard cards, or they just have to maybe expect some like trickery, like they don't know if you have enchantment or artifact removal in your board, and so being able to bluff it by pretending to shuffle in other cards is really nice. It's free value. There's no reason not to do it. What a hand. 2-drop, 3-drop. Play this on turn 4. Kraken's looking pretty bad, but you know, that's how Kraken looks usually. It's more of an extreme late game card. One card that gets a lot better in sealed is Glittering Frost. Did my opponent leave? Where did they go? Did they really leave? No, they didn't. Only 9 mana to go. If this was a snow forest, I could have kept up Snakeskin Veil, but there's no way to cast the Knotfold without using a forest. Gosh darn it. Where's my annul when I need it? We do have the Snakeskin Veil to protect. This thing is going to deal damage, and we can protect from that. Well, in game 2 I didn't have enough forests, so this is much better for me. And I have a turn 4 5/5 that with Snakeskin Veil to protect it. This is the downside of a null. Well, I lose. Real tough to beat. Turn 3 this, turn 4 that. What did I side out for this binding? Got him. This has reach? No, it has trample. So they're heading me back for 9. A null doing work. They're letting me trade a 4 for a 4/2, so I'll take that trade every day of the week. Gosh darn it! Give me Crushing Canopy deck. This card is so unbeatable. Wow, their deck is sick. They got Bears, Toralf, and that card. I got a Kraken that's not really going to be useful here. Oh, gosh. Wow. They discarded a 3-drop and hit a better 3-drop for the situation. What a rip off the top of the old library. That was such a good draw. A really good draw would be Binding, because Binding would not only kill something like the Horn, but it would also ramp me towards my Icebreaker Kraken. I'm at 9 right now. A Snowland would get me down to 7. And I do have 6 in play, so a Snowland off the top and I can cast this bad boy. No, that's not how that math works. It would cost 8 then. The Binding would help me out getting there. That's not how math works. My B. Discarding Craven Hulk, yikes. If they pay, then it gets me another free hit in. Yeah. Big draw. So now this is 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if we draw a land, we can cast the Kraken. Which could be huge if they attack us. Oh no. Wow, it might literally be the game winner if we draw a land here. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh, it all comes down to this. If we top deck a land, we win. If we top deck anything else, we lose. It has to be an untapped land too. Come on land, come on land, come on land. Or that. That'll do. That'll do! Oh my god! Right off the top of the deck! Thanks. Oh my god! What a rip off the top of the deck. Oh. Any land or avalanche caller. Yes! Oh my gosh. Got the job done. Razor's Edge! We top decked real well down the stretch. Lindworm was clutch. Avalanche Caller was also clutch. Whoo! That was a round. That was a heck of a round. We have one more to go, I think. One more round with this epic sealed deck. Wow. Someone would have to clip it, Charlie, but if someone wants to clip it, that's okay with me. Basically, yeah. What a play. Avalanche Caller. Ugh. I've never been on MTG Top 5. True story. Okay, let's get the final win here. Our deck deserves a 4-0. Actually, no deck deserves any finish, but ooh, nice hand. This is the sort of hand that's pretty bad in draft, but in sealed it's totally fine. Because it has all our colors and lands are good in sealed generally. Okay, this hand got a lot worse, I will say. Them playing Fearless Liberator means I'm probably going to lose. But like, if they played a normal 2-drop, I would have been totally fine with it. Nice. Chariot will save me. Help me, Chariot. You're my only hope. Ah, Faceless Haven. Where were you last turn, not Vold Recluse? Where was Gondor when the something fell? Where was not Vold Recluse when the something fell? When the outer something yeah, Gondor. Those Gondorians. I did draw like the best card in my deck. Might not even be good enough. Yeah, let's go. And if we play Inga, then maybe they won't want to attack us. I'm okay blocking there. I still have one token to copy. Don't want any of these. Yeah, I should have attacked with the chariot. Because they're going to tap my creature anyway, but this way they have to tap on their turn if they want to attack again. Oh, they're tapping the chariot? Okay. I would have thought they'd tap both my creatures. Okay. I'm a bit down on the Liberator because it takes so much mana to make 2/1s. They just don't feel high impact enough. Okie doke. Ah! Icebind Pillar is no fun. Just gonna use this now. This can trade with Mistwalker. And then we can start getting these card draw spells going. I will say, if they're playing Grixis, I will get owned by Skull Raid right now. But they don't seem like they're playing Grixis. So they have 5 cards and we have 2, but these are both, this is +2 and this is +1, so we basically both have 5 cards. I just have to spend a little mana to get there. And I have way more lands in play, bigger board. Oh dear. Well, luckily if they attack all out, my Inga can really wreck them. Oh, thanks, Lesnia Mage. So we don't need this. How many snowlings do we have? We have 1, 2, 3 snowlands. So this thing costs 9, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're fairly close to that, so we'll do that. So this kills 2 of their creatures no matter what, and makes me a 2/2. Bummer. Okay. So this is where I hope that they attack me with everything. Nice. Because we play this, and then we play the Avalanche Caller, make a couple 4/4 hasters, and win. So every 3 lands you have is a 4/4. So there's 3. We have 9 lands, because that's how much this cost. 9 lands, so we'll play this, make 2 4/4s. Ah! Well, we have a free sacrifice. Okay, so we can probably make 1 4/4 this turn. They take 8. They have 3, 6, 8, 9, 10. We have this to block that. 3, 6, 7, 8. Oh my gosh, I tapped wrong. Well, that's a bummer. I didn't have a second island. So we can discard these 2 cards. They can hit me for 5 with Mistwalker. We have enough to go make 2 4/4s and play the Pilfering Hawk to block Mistwalker. Oh, man. Wow, they top decked the perfect card. I can't win now. I die. I block there. Take 2, 4, 7. Ouch. That was brutal. Well, they have a lot of really good artifacts, which makes me want to play, like, Invoke the Divines or something, but I can't afford to, I don't think. They also have a lot of cheap cards, so Disdainful Stroke gets a lot worse. So I'm going to bring in a Null again. I'm going to bring in... I don't think I can really... And then I probably cut Disdainful Stroke for it, because they have a lot of cheap cards that matter. That was brutal. That 2/1 took over the game. It made so many 2/1 dwarves, and it worked super well with their Magda. Oh, painful. Gosh. That's an ouch. My opponents took a lot less time to sideboard. Like, take a lot more time to sideboard. I hope they're not siding into anything too crazy. Yeah. But we can still battle back. We've lost games in the past with this deck and still done well. Thanks so much, everybody, for hanging out, by the way. It's real fun having you all here. Hanging out, playing some Sealed, getting ready for the Arena Open. Play first. Keep it. Oh, we don't have a blue source, but we can draw one later. And we have stuff to do before that. There's a blue source. Still just going to play this tap so we can go not Bold Recluse into Binding. Or not Bold Recluse into... Jeez, did I really screw it up that bad? I could have played Hawk plus Veil. Yikes. I can still do that. My land on turn 3 could be the crucial difference maker. I defaulted to playing the snow land incorrectly. I could have gotten my Woodland Chasm into play, and then next turn I could play Binding and hold up Snakeskin Veil. Or play a double green 5-drop like Rootless You. Gosh. Golly. Jeez Louise, the time discrepancy is absurd. Goodbye, Icespine Pillar. I hope. And spring became the winter. The two black-green sagas have very similar art. Silence. Waiting for the enemy to strike. They have 6 mana. A foretell card. Did they play a foretell card last game? If they double block, we can Snakeskin Veil to kill both, or to survive. That's not good. I did not see the Demon Bolt in game 1, I don't think. Still feels bad. I can loot and then play my Ravenous Lindworm next turn. I could have just accepted the trade as well. That play could cost me the match. Get him. Ouch, they have a second copy of that? Whoa, Luca, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate that. We are just playing some sealed. Welcome in, everybody. Well, that's action. That is what is known as action. We're going to want all 3 of these cards, I'd say. Probably the Inga last, so we can scry some new cards up. No, we're drawing all 3 of them. Never mind, yeah. Whew. This gets tapped. Yep. This is great. But yeah, welcome in, everybody. My name's Nikolai. I primarily play Draft here on the channel, but today we're playing Sealed to help get ready for the Arena Open. Thanks, Luca. I appreciate that raid, as I said before. But yeah, we're playing some. We're currently 3-0 with the deck. Down a game here in this second match. The opponent's deck, we know they have we know they have Magda, Basalt Ravager, Fearless, whatever his name is. Okay. So first we're going to go to combat so we can potentially make them use their Icebind Pillar first. Yep. Cast this first. We have enough green to cast the Rootless U anyway. Also, we're going to play this because we have an Icebind Kraken in our deck. Bind the monster. So we're going to use that on their looter. I think that's more important. Yeah, because that way they get to stop filtering their deck, and it only costs us 1 life. They have 2 spells in hand, so now we know that because they got rid of a Fearless Liberator. And then we'll just play this land. We can always loot away the other guy, and we'll just get this guy out. We have a Broken Wings in the deck that can kill the Icebind. We killed their first Icebind Pillar with Binding the Old Gods. 4 snow lands in play. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can cast our Kraken. So if Rootless U dies, that's what we're getting. Okay. They also have a copy of Turgid in their deck, which is the like lantern thing. Fortunately, cannot block that. If I double blocked, they would kill it. If I single blocked, they'd just pump it a single time. Yeah, Parahunter. I mean, it's not great in my deck, but I have a Rootless U to go get it, so makes it kind of nice because I can get it when I need it. Okay, they're out of cards. I'm gonna start with this. There's the card we wanted. So we have our 4/5 now that can hold back this thing and this thing and this thing and everything. Aw, thanks, Housemo. So now we're just hoping they don't draw their Turgid thing. We actually sided in a null because they have a lot of artifacts. They have 2 of the Icebind pillars. We didn't know about the second pillar, I don't think. But they have 2 pillars. They've got some stuff that is worrying. Yeah, they have some pretty scary dwarves. Their Magda's pretty good in their deck. They have some tough choices to make. It would seem. Their Replicating Ring works next turn, so I'm really hoping they don't draw their Turgid, because then they're just going to start cranking out the tapping. Okay. It was all about whether to play that. Okay. Insta block. Flyers are a problem. Narfi. So we can play Narfi, start hitting them for 2 in the air. I think we play Narfi, equip the Elven Bow to the U, and start rumbling. I could also just play this and play this guy out. That could be better. Scry 3 is really powerful. I'm just going to do that. Oh no. So I don't want the Kraken, really, because I'm going to draw it next turn anyway. We'll draw it when this thing dies. The Flyer's nice. I guess Kraken's probably a fine draw, but yeah. So this can sack 5 treasures, so they can almost use it. Or they can if they make this animated.
I don't know if they can get the artifact half of the target because it's back. That's the back half. It's just free value to get the treasure.
Magda's a house, even in sealed. Okay, what artifact or dragon do they have? Oh no. Yeah, that's not that bad for me. They can make a 2/2 every turn. We need to be able to attack past the 4/3 or trade with the 4/3 at least. So that's why we're attacking like this. And next turn we'll finish them off in the skies. Can't cast that. We can just cast the flyer. So we'll put them on lethal next turn. So they have this. I'm trying to think about whether we should bring back in the last Disdainful Stroke or bring back in the Disdainful Stroke that we cut. Because we did cut a Disdainful Stroke for an annul. They have Bergstrider to counter, Squash. Man, getting it into a white deck so we could use our triple Invoke the Divine sounds kind of appealing. We already have a Shimmerdrift Veil and an Arctic Tree Line. And we could play Hengegate Pathway. We could play those in a Master Scald. What would we have to cut? Probably the Elderleaf Mentor. I guess we wouldn't necessarily want Master Scald, but it could be a nice addition. So we would cut this. And Disdainful Stroke. And do that. The Disdainful Strokes just aren't good against them. It's 1/1. Oh, baby. Tough. We have 3 lands, we have a removal spell. We need to hit a lot of 4s, and we have both our 6 drops. We're going to mulligan this. This is much better. Keep it and ditch the... Augury Raven, maybe? I don't really want to ditch the Binding or these cards. I think I could ditch the Invoke the Divine. Yeah, I think that's the best. Because Binding will shuffle it back in. Whew. Pretty instant plays here. Opponent has 9 minutes left and we have 19. Sure, we can kill that with Binding. Looks like they're color screwed. Maybe we should have started with Behold, so we wouldn't miss our 4th land drop. They don't have a snow land either. We're just going to use Sculptor. It's more responsible. We can get our Packmate down next turn then, no matter what. They just Nat drew it. They don't have any Snowlands still, though, so the Icebind Pillar is still useless. They don't have a ton of Snowlands in their deck. That's pretty good for us. They don't get to make an extra 2/2. We'll play a 5/5. It just hits super hard and their Icebind Pillar's not on yet. Oh, thank goodness. This Behold versus Augury Raven turn 2 Foretell play was tricky. Well, that's a great draw. Sure. This has been a close one. Chariot hopefully pulls us away. The fact that their Icebind Pillar's been dead has been really good for us. And shuffling back in Narfi and stuff is going to be nice. can kill Augury Raven, sure. This card's really good in their deck, it seems. They have another squash. Demon Bolt, okay. We go to 6. We can make a 4/4 hexproof blocker. Criminy. This thing is a problem. Huge problem. I don't know why I bind. I guess I bind it because I didn't want to keep taking hits from that. Ah, shoot. I guess I should have just gone block on these two guys when I had the chance. And then just kept the Essica's Chariot around as an extra like vehicle. Wow, that's huge. Yikes. Oh, what a draw. So next turn they can tap this thing. So I hit them for 5. They'll tap this Lindworm. They'll attack me. I can go block. Block, take 2. 3, 4, 5. I'll be at exactly 2. If they want to do that sort of thing. And I have 2 Invoke the Divines in my deck now that are really good draws. So 2 Invoke the Divines, which I sided in, and would be incredible draws right now. Because then I free up my Avalanche Caller at instant speed and just blow them out. Or kill their Icemind Pillar. Whew. They only have 4 minutes left. I should play this as a Plains probably. But I have this white source here. But I have more blue sources already. Yeah, you gain 4 life with Revoke. That's why it'd be such a good draw. The Kraken would be pretty good because I can cast it, yeah. Who are they targeting? Oh, they're targeting me? That'd be a sick double bluff. Get wrecked, buddy. Inga. They don't have enough mana to pump them all. So if they tap this, gosh. Do I have to, This can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 blockers. So I can live here. I don't want any of those cards. Hoping they miss on top decks and just draw a land. The land is okay for them. I was pretty happy with the cute little anti-drag or Thought Thief play that I had there. If they make a big attack, I get to draw 3 cards. Wow, this is a razor sharp game. Thank you so much, Get Diced, for the subscription. I really appreciate the support. Opponent only has 2 minutes left. Welcome to the stream. They have 2 minutes left, so we could time them out. They might make a bad choice because they're running out of time. How do they still have 3 timeouts if they're like 10 minutes behind me on clock? They have 1:30. That was actually a really huge draw because it lets him triple pump. That's a blank. Do I have to use this now? I could just attack and make them do all their blocks. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lethal blockers. Attackers. Huge. Gain 4. If I had played this as a plains, I would have been in much better shape here. Oh no, because I couldn't have double activated anyway. So if I kill the bound in gold, this guy's not a lethal attacker, but there's another 4, 4. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attackers then, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 defenders. I'll be at 8. They can pump 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7. So I live at 1. So I attack for 5. This is the maximum of 8 damage, but they can't actually pump everything. They have to trade with everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Shoot. Do I have to hold back a cat so that I can chump this thing if they want to tap one of my guys on defense? So let's just line up their blocks. They go chump, 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 block there, and then they get to keep this guy around. They untap, tap this guy, and attack with everything. I think I have to hold back another guy. Ugh. That Faceless Haven draw was really good for them. If they had just drawn a blank... We need to hold up enough blockers so that they couldn't kill us by tapping our guy and hitting us with all these guys. Wow, they invoke the Divine Sideboard tech. So clutch. Because we kill them next turn, so they have to kill us now. Yes! Oh wait, did they run out of time? They did run out of time. Oh my gosh. Let's go!
Whoo! What a performance from the deck. I mean, they were dead next turn. They tap our
Cat. Attack with all. We block this thing, we block there. We take 1, 2. They triple pump. 3, 4, 5. We go to 3. That was an insane game. What a match, too. I mean, they played really slow. They took 10 extra minutes compared to us, but that was absurd. What a match indeed. That Avalanche Caller siding in the Invoke the Divine legitimately won us the game, because the Invoke the Divine was like such an important piece of the puzzle there. Whew, what a stream, what a match. I'm really happy that we got to have such a cool experience there in that sealed format. I've never actually had an opponent time out against me on Arena, but they were dead anyway. Wow. Absolute wowza. 4-0 with our deck. For anyone who didn't actually see the full beauty of our deck, you can see it here. We had pretty great mana. We were playing Sulfurous Mire and the Arctic Tree Line as like off-color duels to make our snow payoffs, like our Avalanche Caller, better, which definitely seemed like it was worth it for our deck. The Arctic Tree Line actually clutched it out with that Invoke the Divine casting in that final match. Oh, yes, so satisfying. The Disdainful Strokes were decent. Packmate's Always a House. Chariot was pretty solid. This card actually did a lot of work for us. And Lindworm continued to be clutch. We object this multiple times where it felt like no other card would have been able to stabilize us. But if you are watching this on YouTube and you made it all the way to the end, do remember to do me that extra favor, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, click that bell so you get notified when I post future videos, and leave a comment with your questions, feedback, or thoughts. Leave hashtag perfect run to let me know you made it all the way to the end of the video, because going 4-0 was pretty hype, and I'm really happy that we managed to get undefeated in our matches, even though we did take a couple game losses, but a super clutch run, and we timed out that last opponent to get the win, even though we would have won anyway the next turn. That Invoke the Divine sideboard strategy really worked out against that last opponent with all of their artifacts and enchantments, so that was really good as well. Ton of fun, and I hope you folks enjoyed it. Remember that if you would like to support my content, you can do so for free at no extra cost to yourself if you have Amazon Prime. You can just link your Amazon account to your Twitch account and then subscribe to my channel for free each month, which is really appreciated with Prime Gaming. It's really simple to set up, and I appreciate everyone who does that. You can also support me directly via the Patreon, patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. Gain access to my card-by-card grade spreadsheet, and even just $1 a month does go a long way, because as the community comes together, it helps me continue making more videos and making the videos better for all of you folks. You can also read my articles, join the free NicolaiBolas Discord server, linked in the description and pinned comment below. If you want to follow the NicolaiBolas Twitter, I post there whenever I go live and whenever I have a new draft video, so that's another place you can go to get notified, or the Discord is also a place where I post that sort of thing. But yeah, really a fun draft, fun sealed pool, really cool build, and a lot of fun to play. I hope you enjoyed it, as I said before, and I will talk to you next time.